मैं प्रेम दा प्याला पी आया, एक पल में सदियां जी आया। मैं पी आया, मैं पी आया, मैं पी आया, मैं पी आया, मैं पी आया। मैं रमता जोगी, मैं रमता जोगी, होए 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 होए। मैं प्रेम दा प्याला पी आया, एक पल में सदियां जी आया। सारी मैं दुशाला पी आया, एक पल में सदियां जी आया। मैं पी आया, मैं पी आया, मैं पी आया, मैं पी आया, मैं पी आया। मैं रमता जोगी, मैं रमता जोगी, होए 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 होए। Yes, I am a little drunk because I had to just take pictures for my magazine. And in order to do that, I had to relax myself. I had to be calm and cool and collective. And apparently in the background, this song was playing repeatedly, redundantly on YouTube. So I'm like, if I'm going to suffer, might as well make you guys suffer with me. So anyway, guys, today we are going to be covering 11th Lord in the second house. And what happens when the planet that controls your 11th house is sitting in the second house. And obviously, if you do not know where your 11th Lord is placed and where your other Lord through houses are, for that, check out the links here and check out my full astrological report, including my books, Astrology, Conjunction, and Aspects at the Speed of Light. So yeah, I just took a picture, and hopefully by evening, I am going to give 3 options on my Facebook. I'm going to give 3 different covers for my astrological magazine that is coming out literally in a month and a half, less than a month and a half. And I reshot the cover just because the first one was a little offensive. So, but this is still offensive because you know I'm an offensive guy. I'm gonna offense you, but still it's on a borderline. So it's a little censored. But I'm gonna make a vote to see which cover you guys want me to use. And so check out my Facebook page because I'm gonna post that tonight. So anyway, 11th house. What happens with 11th house? Well, what is 11th house? 11th house is a house of gains, all kinds of gains, but mainly it's a gain through investments that you make, which is the 5th house. Okay, because remember, children are like an investment, because 5th house is children. Your children, you invest in them, and through them you may be able to get gains, because your son and daughter might become a doctor, lawyer, you know, the next Shah Rukh Khan and Tom Cruise, and shit, they better take care of your ass, you know. So that's what 11th house is. 11th house represents elder brother and sister, elder siblings. It represents your network circles. It represents your friends, the group that you associate with, the organization that you associate with. It represents big corporations, and also it represents mainly your hopes and wishes. Like, what are your hopes and wishes? Mainly, all the time, the hopes and wishes is either to have a relationship, to have money, or to be creatively talented. These are the 3 most main hopes and wishes. This is why it's known as the Kama triangle, 3rd, 7th, and 11th house. 3rd house is the house of your artistic talent. Oh, I want to be the next Amitabh Bachchan, you know. Or the 7th house, oh, I want the Aishwarya Rai in bed with me. Or the 11th house, I want to be the next Bill Gates. So when this Lord goes into your 2nd house, well, what is 2nd house? 2nd house is a house of your family, your savings, your earnings. It represents family lineage, family history, banking. All of these things are represented by the 2nd house. And mainly 2nd house is what you value. So when 11th Lord goes into the 2nd house, what this shows is that your friend circle, your network circle, tend to become your family. You treat them like family. You know what, I have had friends like this, and I still do, who I became friends with, and they treat me like I'm their family. Like, they're like, man, come on over for some parathas and for some sabji, man. Just stay here, have a drink, let's go out, come on, this is your home. You know, those kind of people really just grasp you and attract you as a friendship. That's what these people are. They attract a lot of people who become part of their large extended family. This also shows that you gain a lot through your elder sibling. And your family especially benefit through your elder sibling. Even though you may not be benefiting, but your elder sibling has quite a huge say on how, how valuable your family is. Now, this can go in reverse as well, but mainly that's what it represents. And this is one of the most powerful dhan yogas one can get, besides 11th Lord in the 5th house. 11th Lord in the 5th house and 11th Lord in the 2nd house is one of the most prominent dhan yogas, meaning yogas for wealth. And this shows that your family is the catalyst for making your hopes and wishes come true. Meaning your daddy little prince or princess. Oh, daddy, I want a Ferrari. I want a Mercedes Benz. I want to go to the Cayman Islands. I want to go to Europe. And suddenly you get your wish granted because apparently your family gets gains. And that's why your hopes and wishes are able to come true, because your dad just pulls out the credit card and gives it to you. Here, honey, go spend whatever you want. So family becomes a very valuable asset, because through that you get the massive gains that you want. And it also shows that these are the people who may be in the field of banking and finance and stock market and marketplace financial institutions, because 11th Lord and 2nd Lord are strictly money oriented houses more than anything else. It might be friends, it might be family, but they're really money oriented house. And the person whose gains are going in through his earnings will be coming through banking, investments. Okay. Now, depending upon what planet controls 11th house and sits in the 2nd house, will differentiate these things. So let's discuss that. So when Sun controls the 11th house and goes into the 2nd house, shows that elder sibling tries to manipulate the family to take its assets or take your assets. Or the father, through his sneaky ways, is becoming a spendtheft of the family assets. This usually I've seen as a very karmic placement for the Sun, because Sun is in a karmic sign of a Scorpio. And in this, especially what I'm saying is really happens between 7 to 12 degrees over and over again, where there's some karmic thing that happens with your sibling, that something happens, you guys are fighting over parental property, or your dad is suddenly taking your assets away or your money away. And so what this just creates like a lot of ego battles between you and your sibling. Now, if Sun is beyond let's say 14, 15 degrees, what happens is that the elder sibling becomes a very authoritative figure in your life. In the family, the elder sibling was the one that you were kind of scared of, perhaps more than even the father. Father and the elder sibling were two people who were really in charge of the family and family assets and family lineage. And also shows that you are able to take over your family business and earn money through that. Let's say if Moon controls your 11th house, and Moon goes into the 2nd house, shows that your ability, what you value pretty much, is that the creativity that your elder sibling brings. You want to emotionally connect with people who are very creative, very diplomatic, and kind of become emotional part of your family. You gain through a lot of mature women and mature female in your life. Your mother becomes one of the greatest assets for you to accumulate assets, whether she gives you a portion from her massive, states, or she helps you save money, she educates you. But mother becomes a really important catalyst towards you earning money and you getting gains. Mother kind of even shows you how to do their investments the right way. But these people truly gain from being part of an organization that can really emotionally connect to the world and for the betterment of the world. You always create emotional relationships, and through that you gain, because it's a very honest relationship. Let's say if Mercury controls your 10th house, not 10th house, Mercury controls your 11th house, and Mercury goes into the 2nd house, shows that your elder sibling was very smart in terms of managing money. And through that, you learned how to manage money. Through that, you learned how to accumulate assets and wealth. Your elder sibling and your friend circle and your network circle really made you business-minded from the get-go. From the moment you were able to create friendships, you were all about, who's this guy, the owner of the Dallas Mavericks and NBA, Mark Cuban. He was at age of 5, he was having a business of newspapers and whatnot and stamps, and making like $15,000, $20,000 at 8 or 9. And if I'm not mistaken, I think he has 11th Lord in the second house. And so this really creates a very savvy person in terms of money and savings. And so these people usually have their earnings come through accounting, financial side of things, banking, stockbrokers, people who are just great money managers. Let's say Venus controls your 11th house, and Venus goes into the second house, shows you love being part of a creative organization, creative circle. You like to make your actor friends, your celebrity friends part of your family. Through that, you become very creative. You express yourself creatively, and you want to gain your income through creativity, because now it's part of the second house of your income. And shows that women become biggest fan of you. You bring a lot of women home, whether you're a man or woman. You are known to be somebody whose assets are women. Like you are able to gain through women. Whether you having 10 girlfriends and they coming to you for rescue, or you simply getting married and suddenly getting a lot of money through your wife. But creativity, artistry, and especially nourishment are the things that you will make your money from. Entertainment doesn't have to be film industry. Entertainment simply could be a restaurant, could be owning a club, could be owning a small theme park for a business. But you're part of entertaining people, and that's how you make your money. Let's say if Mars controls your 11th house, Mars goes into the second house. All total power struggle with the elder sibling. Elder sibling will waste the family's money and your assets as well. And there will be physical fights with the elder sibling, especially if Mars is between 13 to 18 and 25 to the 29th degree, especially. There will be a lot of power struggles with the elder sibling and the family. Your relationship with your entire family could be disturbed due to your elder sibling. Now, if Mars receives an aspect from Jupiter, what happens is that your elder sibling is always there to protect you, is always there to give you willpower and support. The elder sibling shows you how to be tough out there. Let's say if Jupiter controls your 11th house and Jupiter is in the second house. What this shows is that your source of income and earning will come through higher knowledge of money itself. Why? Because Jupiter is a karka of money and finance. Shows you earn a lot of money through your gurus and teachers. Your gurus and teachers and people who are very wise become part of your family. Your hopes and wishes are to gain knowledge through your gurus, are to gain wisdom through your gurus, and that's what you value, because remember, second house is a house of what you value. So overall, this is a very great position for Jupiter to be in, because here you're able to easily understand through your soul, through your being, that what money is and how money is created, because Jupiter is the creator of money and wealth. Also, this shows a person can definitely have tremendous love for singing, especially classical arts, music, singing, art history, more than even Venus. Let's say if Saturn controls your 11th house, goes into the second house, shows that gains to the family were quite limited growing up. Your friendships were quite limited. Actually, your friends, the kind of friends that you made, separated you from your family. There were these really awkward, tough moments through either you had to choose your friends or family. But Saturn gives you far more knowledge than even Mercury about money and savings. These are the people who will live in like a t-shirt and shorts. Yet they will have more money than the guy who's wearing the suit. Because they know the value of savings. They know the value of accumulation. Because here they were lacking so much funds, because not only did they not have savings, but because Saturn was controlling their incoming gains, they could not even have gains until they passed their Saturn return after the age of 28. That's when Saturn perhaps gave it to them. Now, if your Saturn is receiving an aspect from Jupiter, or Saturn is conjunct Jupiter, with Jupiter holding the lowest degrees, then Saturn is now getting support of Jupiter. That, okay, you will get the money, just work hard for it. So when they work hard early on, they get the money. But it all depends on aspects, and it also shows that elder sibling was very disciplined, organized person. Perhaps the elder sibling was handicapped or needed a lot of assistance of the family. But at the same time, this Saturn can also show that he was very disciplined on you and how you spent your money. And your hopes and wishes have always been with this kind of a Saturn is to not only have friends in life, but to have savings. Simple. Just to have savings to do the basic things in life. Okay? So guys, this is my analysis of 11th Lord in the second house. If you're new to my channel, subscribe below. And again, if you want to know where your other Lord through houses are, for that, check out the links here. Otherwise, I'm going to go and throw up. Bye-bye.